in San Diego for another one of our Comic-Con videos. This time we're going to be looking at backpacks, poster tubes, print sleeves, just some of the things that we use to protect the stuff and just kind of make sure we are safe and in good shape for a day at Comic-Con. So I'll start out saying this, everybody has different philosophies on everything, so please feel free, particularly in this video, to throw in the comments any of your strategies when it comes to bags, poster tubes, any of those things. I found last year we did one of these and there was a lot of great ideas in there. Some things will work for me that won't work for you and vice versa, but it's nice to share that information there. Also, the SDCC unofficial blog, they have a great packing list they make every year for a much broader context as well, so make sure to check that out and see what they have. Now, so before we begin looking at all this stuff, just to kind of clarify like where we are in terms of what we prepare for, is we prepare for really long days at the convention, a lot of time on the floor, sometimes a lot of time in panel rooms. We've definitely spent more than 12 hours in a Hall H room, going till late in the night and things like that. So it varies what we do, but I guess what we try to plan for is big long days and not having many resources or maybe the ability to get into lines, and so we try to bring as much as we can. So I know already off the top this bag is going to be bigger than some people will want to bring, but that said, this is the type of bag we use, just a regular Billabong bag with multiple compartments, like having that. Some of the things that we make sure to have: charger, can't stress enough having a charger. This is a little bit smaller charger. Usually we bring the small, and then we'll also have a larger brick that we bring with us as well. Now obviously we're posting a ton of stuff on social media, we're uploading videos, so there's a lot of things that we're doing that may not be applicable to somebody watching this, and you may not need as much juice, but we do. We always bring some post-it notes, some pens, like to have those on hand, headphones to be able to tune out maybe and relax a little bit in line for things. Any sort of medication you need, we always carry Claritin, Pepto-Bismol, cough drops even. We'll bring tissues, we'll get to that in a minute, but all of those types of things, maybe things you need. And sure, you can go down the street to a CVS, but it's nice just to have them there. Obviously, be able to plug in and charge into a wall if you can find a space with wall availability there. This, I know people have different versions of these types of things, but I love this. A few years ago, the blog, unofficial blog again, did these little fans. So just having some sort of little fan like that. I know some people use like electric ones and things like that. I've never used one of those, but I really do like having this because it's so thin and sleek. It just kind of fits inside the bag there. If you have anything that you yourself are promoting, if you're somebody from Artist Alley, if you're somebody that has your own YouTube channel where you review toys or things like that, it's nice to have your own stickers or business cards or whatever you might have to help kind of promote your stuff and share it. A lot of times we get people at Comic-Con that are super nice and friendly. I'm sure a lot of people that are watching this video that thank us for the videos and things like that, and it's nice if we can remember to give those types of things out, because it's just a little token of appreciation, but it also lets people know what you do if they might be interested in that. In the larger part of the bag here, we've got a few different spots. One here, I keep a couple plastic baggies that have a bunch of random kind of loose things, and we've got our business cards that kind of goes back to the other part. Post-it notes, markers. It's funny because a lot of the smaller cons, really San Diego's the only place that I fully bag up the way we're talking here, but just with these, the other day being at Phoenix Fan Fusion, a very nice individual offered to use some of their markers there because we did not have them, or I did not have them with me. Highlighter, and even note cards. I like to be able to kind of jot things down if I need. Now, obviously, you may say, well, can you do all that on your phone? And yes, I use the phone a lot. I'm somebody that keeps all of my schedule in the phone. But that said, I like having some of these physical things, and I don't feel like they take up too much room for me. But again, they may for you. Lanyard. I was keeping another lanyard with. And so I like having that in case, I don't know, lose a lanyard or don't like the one that they have at the con. It's always nice to have some flexibility there. Tape, hand sanitizer. We go through a lot of hand sanitizer at a convention. During Comic-Con, we'll go through a couple bottles of this, I'd imagine. Some rubber bands. I even have baggies of baggies in here for things like loose pins, buttons, things like that that may be obtained on the Comic-Con floor. Obviously, there's not as much swag these days on the floor, physical swag, but it's still nice having those. Tape, loose tape there. So paper clips, safety pins, all of those things can come in handy. And again, a lot of them may not be needed even in the whole week of a con, but I like having them just because I'm the type of person that really is a prepper like that. Some sort of sunblock that you have. Those lines waiting outside can get pretty vicious with the heat. even on cooler days in San Diego, a lot of times that sun seems to pierce at least me. I always keep a sweatshirt with, and it's the thing I hate most carrying around because it's the most cumbersome of anything that goes in the bag. But the thing about it is I feel like oftentimes in panel rooms I'll get cold. I know I get colder than some people do, more quickly I should say, but it is something that I like to keep around for that reason. All right, the famous or infamous Walking Dead bag. For those that have followed along for a long time know this is like my all-time favorite when Anchor Bay used to do these bags. And so I still have a bunch of them. Always have this kind of folded up and in the bag, and this becomes kind of the swag bag for the day. Used to always carry the Warner Brother bags around, but honestly, it's probably been 7-8 years since we've really used the Warner Brothers ones much. We still bring some with and keep them in the car in case one year everybody's handing out t-shirts and plush and all that again, but San Diego Comic-Con's become so much more about experiences and photos over like physical giveaways that it hasn't come in as handy as much. That said, the thing I always love about this bag, and those of you that have watched these types of videos know why, is it's like it was made for comics, and so you can just go ahead and comics in there to do like that. It's got a little bit of protection there. I mean, I would never put some high-end comic in here, but I can put that in there like that, and then as I'm getting freebies throughout the day, I can just kind of throw them in the bag willy-nilly and go through them at the end of the night. Now, we like to park as close to the convention floor as we can, so oftentimes we're parking at the convention center, and I'll bring multiple of these bags within a day, and so that way I can go and even just drop off, like drop the whole bag off in the trunk, take a quick break in the car for 15-20 minutes, go back up on the floor with a new clean bag. So again, people that are flying in are going to have different experiences than that. They're not going to have the luxury of that, but you may be staying closer also. Like for us, we're always staying at the cheaper hotels further away and then driving in. So for us, the car is our home base, but for you, it might be the Omni, and you can just walk across the street to do some of the trade outs. I do always keep some sort of folder to kind of try to give a little bit of protection to things. You can put printouts in here. We'll put our parking in here that they'll want to check the QR codes. Just have the menu here for Scenic Cafe, so you can check out things that they have there. But if we all of a sudden, years ago met LL Cool J on the floor of Comic-Con, it came out of the blue, here's an 8x10 signed, it's like, this is the type of thing that I can put it in. So again, nothing that's like super hard. It's not going to protect things for a long amount of time, but it is something I can throw something in on the floor and then get it back to our home base again. So it can be a little bit safer there. Let's see. Oh, as I said, I always keep napkins or tissues, indoor tissues in the bag as well. I feel like need that all the time. I like to have tissues like every time I go to use the restroom. Like I don't like using the dryers. I like using paper towels or napkins or things like that. So I have those for that as well. Now let's talk a little bit about prints and things of that nature. So when it comes to actually like what to put the posters, things like I really like using these types of acrylics the most. These are obviously smaller than what we're going to use for larger posters, but for the sake of the video, I brought some smaller examples. So this is ideally what I like to put them in. Now, obviously, again, we're driving, we're not having to worry about an airplane. That would be a very different situation if we were flying, but I do like keeping these. So generally, though, what we're doing is using types of tubes like this. Now, if you follow us on Twitter, we talked about one of our tips last week as of filming this at least, was about being careful about the tubes you use, because I know for ourselves, we've had a lot of posters damaged, and freebie posters, nothing we paid for, but those freebie posters, like, oh, this is a cool poster, and then those free poster tubes from like a Viz or Fox, FX, those types of things, it's gotten kind of dinged up because of the way that the edges are there. And so actually it was Carmel that had noticed that, and so we're like, okay, we need to invest in some better tubes. So since we've been using that, these have been much better to keep things safe in. Now our friend Erin over also from the Unofficial blog, she had a great idea with these for people flying too, is to add your name and phone number to it so that if it gets separated anywhere in transitioning, that way you have an easy way to kind of hopefully somebody will be good enough to contact you, but it's very clear of how to get your number and get back in contact. But so on a general day on the floor these days, again, because things have lessened, it's very possible, like let's say Wednesday night, preview night, it's very possible I'm not going to bring any of these onto the floor. I'm probably going to leave all of these in the car. If I feel that there's going to be more poster type stuff that actually matters, then I'll start bringing this one, because this is the good one, and this is the one that like nothing ever seems to get damaged yet. Now obviously in general, if you're pushing it around like this, it has more of a chance of getting damaged or whatever, but this I'll try to hold it steady, and again for me it's trying to get it back to home base, the car, as soon as possible. Now, last year we had the Paper Girl signing with the cast and the talent, the cast and the creatives behind it. In that case, I brought one of these that was the appropriate size. I checked with them ahead of time kind of what poster they were doing, and I just brought that with. Then when I got to the autographing, got everything signed, put it in one of these, walked it down to the car, locked it away, and that was the end of that. So again, it can change. In the old days, we always had a poster tube everywhere we went at San Diego because there were so many posters being handed out, a lot of them full-size theatrical, things like that. It just isn't quite as much the case anymore, so that's how it kind of downsized there. So again, your mileage may vary. These are the things, if you've ever wondered what are pros and cons, what are we carrying in our bags, this is the type of stuff. Obviously, in addition to this, water, lots and lots and lots of water if we can. That's actually where the weight comes in. It's kind of unfortunate that there are refill stations that you can find as well. And then snacks, we try to bring in some chips, some crackers, maybe some of the tiny, like the tuna and cracker type things and stuff like that. Because do remember, it can be tough to get food in the convention center because of the long lines. We talk about some strategies with that and some of our other content that we put out there. But also a lot of times you just want to like sit down immediately, and even finding a place to sit can be difficult. And in that case, once you find the place to sit, it's nice to just crack open your bag and like, okay, here's my water and here's my little snack, and I'm good to go for another couple hours. On that note, if you're doing Hall H or Ballroom 20 or any of those big rooms, sometimes those are marathon sessions where you do have to plan ahead of time to have any food or drink to kind of take little sips or snacks in there so that you're able to get through the day. Hall H, oftentimes people that are new to Hall H, they'll think, oh, they have a snack bar, we'll just go with that. The offerings there are very limited. Again, on our like longest day there, I think they let us into Hall H around 8 a.m. We ended up leaving a little before midnight because that was the year that WB did their late, CW Arrowverse stuff. But anyway, the whole day, all we had was a few snacks in our bags, and then like the nachos and stuff that they're serving at the snack bar. It wasn't a great selection, so we've tried to plan better since that time. So that said, we will have lots more tips and videos and things like that. We have a few already up on our channel, so you can head to our playlist for San Diego Comic-Con 2023. Also, you can look at past San Diego Comic-Cons on our channel here. We have tons of video. We shoot like 50, 60 videos a year. So there's a lot of content there to consume. Hopefully some of it helps you to have a great convention this year. We thank you for your support. We'll wrap up here, and until next time, we'll see you in line somewhere.